All right, diving in. We've got a really interesting one for you all today. Scalar energy.
Yeah, definitely some fascinating stuff.
So this is based on, you sent me this interview, Tom Paladino.
Right. Tom Paladino on Ask Julie Ryan.
Ask Julie Ryan, yeah. And we're going to kind of go through and just see what's what with scalar energy. Healing, free energy, UFOs, ancient civilizations. I mean, it's all in there.
Sounds like we're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, so let's just jump right in. What is this thing, the scalar energy?
Well, it's one of those things you hear about and it sounds like straight out of Star Trek, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the concept is actually based in physics,
Okay.
albeit a branch of physics that's, still being debated. But the idea here is that it's a type of energy that's even more fundamental than electricity
Okay.
or magnetism.
Fundamental.
It's everywhere in the universe.
Mm.
And it's thought to act as like a blueprint
Huh.
for all matter and energy. So that's kind of what Palladino and others are calling scalar energy.
So it's not like just some sort of like different kind of electricity or something.
Right. You can think of it like this. Electricity, magnetism, that's kind of the effects
Mm-hmm.
that we can measure.
Mm.
But scalar energy is the underlying cause.
Okay.
It's the information field that shapes all those things that we can measure.
Gotcha.
So like a computer program,
Okay.
you've got the software code
Mm-hmm.
that's running the whole thing. And then you've got the images on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
The images on the screen are like the electricity and the magnetism.
Okay.
But the code, that's the scalar energy. It's like the blueprint.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, that makes it much more clear. So it's this fundamental thing. Why aren't we like all using it to power our homes and flying around in spaceships?
Well, that's where things get interesting and a little controversial. Palladino, he argues that there's been a suppression of this technology,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to energy. And he points to the story of Nikola Tesla.
Oh yeah, Tesla.
Right.
I mean, I know he was brilliant, but I didn't realize he was involved with scalar energy.
Well, according to Palladino, Tesla, he not only discovered scalar energy, but he believed that it could be, a source of free, clean energy
Oh, wow.
from the sun and the stars. Imagine, every home powered by a little device,
Yeah.
just tapping into this limitless energy source.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Tesla's vision.
That's incredible. So what happened? Why aren't we all like, basking in the free energy of Tesla?
Well, Palladino's claim is that Tesla's discoveries, they threatened, powerful industries,
Oh, okay.
especially those who were invested in oil, gas, traditional electricity. He suggests that, there was a deliberate effort to suppress that work.
So are you saying we're stuck with power plants and energy bills and pollution because of some like big energy conspiracy?
It's a bold claim, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's no, smoking gun or anything like that. But if you look at the historical context, it does make you wonder.
Yeah.
Tesla's biggest project, Wardenclyffe Tower. He wanted to use that for wireless energy transmission,
Mm-hmm.
but he lost funding and the project was abandoned.
Yeah, I remember reading about that.
Palladino suggests that, that wasn't just bad luck,
Yeah.
that there were powerful interests working against him.
Huh. Okay, so that's a lot to consider.
It is.
But even if we leave aside all the, the conspiracy stuff, the idea that this could be like a clean energy source, that's huge.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond just energy.
Mm-hmm.
Palladino and others say scalar energy
Yeah.
has the potential to, revolutionize healthcare.
Okay, now that's something I'm really interested in, like energy healing,
Mm-hmm.
the mind-body connection, all that.
Right. And Julie Ryan, she's the one interviewing Palladino. She shares her own experiences as a medical intuitive
Oh, wow.
and a psychic medium.
Okay.
She describes, like, seeing a plasma wall during visualizations with dying patients
Mm-hmm.
and being able to, like, scan people remotely. Yeah. See their energy fields, even their internal organs.
That's wild. I've always wondered how, people who claim to be medical intuitives, how they actually do that.
Well, and the fascinating thing is how Palladino connects all of this to scalar energy.
Okay.
He says, the mind, the heart, these aren't just physical organs.
Mm-hmm.
They're also scalar energy vessels.
Mm-hmm.
So our thoughts, our emotions, even our intentions,
Mm-hmm.
these are forms of scalar energy that
Mm-hmm.
can interact with the world around us.
So are you saying that, like, our thoughts and feelings have an actual effect on the world around us?
It's a mind-blowing concept.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's something that's been talked about in spiritual traditions and ancient wisdom
Yeah.
for centuries.
Right.
And what Paladino was suggesting is that scalar energy, this might be the scientific explanation for how it all works.
Okay.
He talks about us being able to tap into a holographic field. It's like this blueprint of the universe that contains all information, past, present, future. Everything that is, everything that was, everything that ever will be.
Okay, I gotta admit, holographic universe, that's a little, it's a little out there for me.
Sure.
But this idea that our thoughts can like shape reality, that's pretty interesting. I mean, haven't you ever had that feeling where you just know something's gonna happen?
Oh, absolutely. Or felt like you were connected to someone far away.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's easy to brush it off as just coincidence. But Paladino's explanation about this holographic field and scalar energy, it offers another perspective. Maybe we are all connected at a much deeper level. And our thoughts and emotions, they send out these ripples through that connection. And affects not just ourselves, but everyone and everything else.
Okay, you weren't kidding about the wild ride. So if we're all walking around emitting scalar waves, are we like constantly influencing each other? Whether we know it or not.
It's definitely something to think about. It raises a lot of questions about, free will and collective consciousness, and whether we can actually use our thoughts to create change.
Right. Okay, before we get too far down the rabbit hole here, I wanna circle back to the healing aspect. Julie Ryan mentioned some pretty amazing stuff that she'd witnessed. She saw stem cell energy being used to like regenerate organs, and DNA healings, where the nucleic acids were resequenced to fix problems in cancer patients.
Right.
All of that was happening without any physical intervention. It was all energetic.
Yeah, and that fits with Paladino's claim that scalar energy, it's the key to understanding how our bodies heal. He says mind over matter. That's not just a metaphor. It's a real principle based on scalar energy.
So is this like the power of positive thinking? Like you just believe you can heal and you do?
It's not quite that simple, but the idea is similar. Paladino believes that our thoughts can actually shape our reality, especially when it comes to our own bodies.
Okay.
He's developed these scalar energy instruments, and he says he can use them to influence the energy of cells and tissues, even pathogens, bring them into a state of harmony.
Wait, so is he saying he can cure diseases with these things?
He claims he's had a lot of success treating, chronic illnesses, even HIV.
Wow.
He mentioned clinics in India and Tanzania.
Really?
Where people's viral loads, they became undetectable after his treatments.
Okay. That's a pretty big claim. Are there like scientific studies to back that up?
Well, Paladino has presented some anecdotal evidence, some testimonials.
Okay.
But, the mainstream scientific community hasn't really studied this rigorously.
Right.
So it's important to, approach these claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. But even if we set aside the question of whether these specific healings are actually real, the idea that you could use scalar energy to influence biological processes, that's fascinating.
It really challenges everything we think we know about medicine. Like, imagine if we could, regrow organs, fix genetic problems, get rid of diseases, but without surgery or drugs. Just with energy. That's what Paladino is envisioning here.
A very bold vision.
It is.
And I'm sure a controversial one.
Yeah.
But it makes us rethink what's possible when it comes to health and healing.
Yeah. I mean, a part of me is still skeptical. We've always been taught that the physical world is all there is.
Right.
And that our thoughts and feelings don't really have any power outside of our own heads.
It's understandable. Our culture really prioritizes what we can see and touch.
Yeah.
But what if our understanding of reality is just incomplete? What if there's more to the universe than we can perceive with our five senses? And what if scalar energy is the key to understanding that?
It makes you wonder. And, if scalar energy can do all that with healing, what else can it explain?
That is a great question. And that leads us into some even more interesting territory. UFOs, ancient civilizations, and some of the biggest mysteries of the universe.
Okay, I'm ready.
But before we get into that, let's just take a moment and reflect. What stood out to you the most so far about scalar energy?
Honestly, just how much potential it has. We've talked about clean energy, healing, the power of thought. It's like scalar energy connects everything. And if we could learn how to use it, the possibilities are endless.
It's definitely a captivating concept,
Yeah,
and it forces us to rethink our assumptions about the world and our place in it.
totally. And I have a feeling this is only the beginning.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
As we delve deeper into the world of scalar energy, we're going to encounter even more mind-bending ideas.
I can't wait. But for now, let's give our listeners a minute to process all this.
Good idea.
We'll be back soon to explore the even more mysterious side of scalar energy. Okay, so much to think about. Before we went to that little break, we were talking about some pretty big concepts.
Yeah, scalar energy as, the possible key to free energy and radical new approaches to healing.
Right. And then there's UFOs and ancient civilizations maybe using this power that we barely even understand. It's a lot. But if Paladino is even, a little bit right about all of this, I mean, what could that future look like?
Well, it's a pretty exciting vision. Paladino talks about a world that's, completely transformed by scalar energy.
Okay.
So think about it. Every home, every building, powered by a little device that just draws energy from the sun and stars, clean and free.
Wow.
No more power grids, no fossil fuels, no worries about running out of energy or damaging the environment.
That would be huge. And we were talking earlier about Paladino's idea that scalar energy could, change agriculture. What would that look like?
Well, he says that if we can understand and work with the energy of plants and the energy of things that can harm plants,
Okay.
we could maybe get rid of all pesticides and herbicides. And that would lead to healthier crops, more food. And imagine, fields full of these vibrant plants that are resistant to disease, that can provide, nutritious food for everyone.
And no chemicals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sustainable agriculture that actually works with nature.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like going back to a better way of living on the earth. We were also talking about Paladino's idea of cleaning up toxic waste and pollution. Is that really possible?
I know, it sounds like science fiction.
Yeah, it does.
But Paladino says that if we can understand the energetic signatures, of these pollutants, then maybe we could create scalar energy devices that can neutralize them or change them into something harmless. So imagine, oil spills cleaned up just like that. Nuclear waste neutralized. Damaged ecosystems restored.
I'm trying to picture this. I mean, it sounds incredible.
It does.
Almost too good to be true. But then I think about how much we're messing up the planet, And if there's even a chance that scalar energy could fix these problems, we have to look into it.
I think that's a good way to approach it.
Yeah.
Be skeptical, but also keep an open mind.
Right.
We shouldn't just accept every claim about scalar energy without question. But we also shouldn't reject it just because it's new or different.
Yeah. And I know we were talking about UFOs earlier, and I wanted to hear more about that. How does Paladino think they work?
Well, he believes that what we call UFOs, or UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, that they're able to do all those crazy things.
Right.
Defying gravity and physics, because they're operating within a scalar energy environment. He thinks they use scalar energy to, overcome gravity, accelerate incredibly fast, even become invisible to our radar and stuff.
So those, videos we've seen of, those tic-tac-shaped objects zipping around, you're saying those could actually be vehicles powered by scalar energy?
That's what Paladino's suggesting, that we're not just seeing, advanced technology, but a whole different type of physics that's based on scalar energy.
It seems like Paladino is saying that scalar energy can explain all these mysteries that have been puzzling people for decades. And it really shifts our perspective from thinking about the world just in terms of, matter and what we can see,
right,
to considering that there's this whole other realm of possibilities.
Yeah, a complete paradigm shift. It changes not just how we view the world, but also how we view ourselves,
right,
and our place in it. Because if scalar energy is the fundamental force behind everything, then we're all expressions of that energy.
Which, brings us back to the holographic universe idea and how our thoughts and intentions can affect reality. It's like we're all connected. And scalar energy is the thread that ties it all together.
It is a beautiful analogy. And it's an idea that's found in a lot of ancient wisdom.
Yeah.
Think about the concept of chi or prana in Eastern traditions.
Right.
It's this vital life force energy that connects everything. Maybe scalar energy is is how we can understand those ancient ideas from a scientific perspective.
Okay, so we talked about UFOs. What about, like, ancient civilizations? I know you said Palladino had some thoughts about how scalar energy could explain how they built, like, the pyramids and stuff.
Right. He thinks that those ancient cultures, the ones who built those, megalithic structures,
Mm-hmm.
the pyramids, Stonehenge,
Mm-hmm.
that they had knowledge of scalar energy
Really?
and that they used it for building, for healing, all sorts of things.
So they were, like, shaping reality with scalar energy.
That's what he's saying. He points to the fact that those structures are so precise
Mm.
and complex. The stones are massive. There's no way with our current understanding of technology that they could have moved those stones. And a lot of those ancient sites, they're aligned with specific energy points on Earth.
Huh.
So he's saying that shows those ancient builders, they understood forces that we don't.
That's a really cool idea, but it just raises so many more questions. Like, how did they learn this stuff? Why did we lose that knowledge?
Mm-hmm.
And if they could do it back then, why can't we do it now?
Those are great questions. And researchers are still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Some people say that the ancient knowledge, it got passed down in secret
Mm-hmm.
through, hidden traditions,
Mm-hmm.
preserved in myths and symbols. And that maybe we can rediscover it.
Okay.
Other people say that maybe we've lost a way of seeing the world.
Mm-hmm.
That allowed us to work with those energies.
Like we've lost a part of ourselves, a connection to something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe scalar energy is the key to finding that connection again.
It's a compelling thought.
Mm.
Maybe by exploring scalar energy, we won't just find new technologies,
Yeah.
but we'll also rediscover, ancient wisdom and connect with a deeper understanding of who we are and what the universe is.
I love that. It's not just about technology. It's about expanding our consciousness.
Exactly.
Understanding ourselves. And it really makes you think about what's possible.
It does. I mean, we've covered so much ground. Free energy, healing, UFOs, ancient civilizations. I mean, where do we even go from here?
Well, that's really up to each individual, isn't it? What really stuck with you? What made you curious? What parts of all this, do you want to learn more about?
Yeah, and that at the end of the day, we're not trying to convince anyone that scalar energy is, a real thing or that any of these claims are definitely true.
It's about, opening your mind to the possibility that maybe there's more to the universe than we think,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe we have abilities that we haven't even tapped into yet.
Exactly. And if any of this about scalar energy does spark your interest, there's tons of information out there. Books, articles, videos.
Mm-hmm.
There are even like whole online communities dedicated to it
Oh, wow.
where people are sharing their research, their experiences.
Yeah. And as more people learn about scalar energy and start to experiment with it, who knows what we might discover? Maybe those flying cars powered by the stars, maybe they aren't so crazy after all.
Stranger things have happened. I mean, 100 years ago, if you told someone we'd be sending messages through the air or flying across the ocean in a metal tube, they'd think you were crazy.
Right.
So we're always learning new things, pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe scalar energy is the next big step in that journey.
It's an exciting thought to think that we could use this energy to heal, to create clean energy, to expand our consciousness, to connect with each other in ways we can't even imagine yet.
It's a future full of possibilities.
Yeah.
And it's up to all of us to explore those possibilities.
Yeah. So to everyone listening, if you've enjoyed this deep dive into scalar energy, keep learning about it, talk to others who are interested, and most importantly, stay curious.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be the one to make the next big breakthrough in scalar energy.
Yeah.
The biggest discoveries often come from people who are willing to think outside the box.
That's a great point. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey into the world of scalar energy. Until next time, keep exploring.